Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are here to start a new show on the channel, and this is the fall of the House of Usher. I figured since it's October and it's spooky season that we might as well watch something scary, and that is another show from Mike Flanagan. If you are unfamiliar with Mike Flanagan, he made shows like The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass. He also kind of did the Midnight Club. I mean, he did, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what his role in that was, but it wasn't like, I don't know. But I reacted to Haunting of Bly Manor and Midnight Mass on the channel. I also watched the first like 3 episodes of the Midnight Club on the channel, but like nobody was watching my videos on them, so I just finished the show in my own time. But this I'm very, very excited for. It has a star-studded cast from Rahul Kohli to all the people that have been in the previous shows, to Mark Hamill, to who knows who else. Like, just huge cast. And apparently I've been just hearing real good reviews about this show, so I'm very, very excited to jump into it. I hope people actually watch this one. A decent amount of people watched my reactions to Bly Manor and Midnight Mass, but like almost nobody was watching my reactions to the Midnight Club. But other than that, before we jump into this first episode, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. It helps my videos get seen more in the algorithm. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload, especially if you want to see me react to more of this show. And then if you are interested in seeing the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. That is linked in the description down below. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. Since this is the first episode of a new show or a new season, that uncut will be completely free in public for anyone to check out. And if you find that that's something you're interested in going forward, then your support would mean the world. But other than that, let's jump into episode 1 of the fall of the House of Usher. Happy New Year's, baby! Ooh, spooky.
Thank heaven. The crisis, the danger is past. And the lingering illness is over.
Oh, rip, they're dead.
For then, the spirits of the dead who stood in life before thee are again in death around thee. Breathe the breath of God.
Okay, so everybody's gonna die. Got it?
Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? We stand on the brink of a precipice.
Scary.
She's here.
Our first impulse is to shrink from the danger. Unaccountably, we remain.
Damn, everybody is dying. Literally every single person. Is that taxi a Tesla? That's a fancy taxi. Is this the house from Monster House or the house from Stranger Things? Bro, I would not go in there. That's a recipe for disaster.
Well, come on if you're coming.
Commander Pike, why are you being so weird?
I'm sorry for your loss. Your losses, rather.
Is that Martian Manhunter? I think that's the voice of Martian Manhunter.
You know, a single pour, it probably costs twice your annual salary.
And you're drinking it now because you assume your
Have a glass.
death is near?
What's not to celebrate? You got away with it. Again.
You know, nobody gets away with anything, not really.
Madeline would beg to differ.
Who's Madeline?
Well, you can ask yourself. She's downstairs in the basement. I called you tonight to give you the only thing you've ever wanted. My confession.
Okay, what's your confession?
We're in my childhood home.
Oh,
Yeah, this is where I grew up.
interesting.
Kept it all these years. The whole neighborhood. So I could watch the paint peel, the weeds grow, and smell the rot if I needed to pick me up.
And what exactly are you
A lot of
confessing to?
disdain for your childhood.
All of it.
All of it.
The whole thing. You brought what? 73 charges. All of them. Everything. All yours. Right now.
Why? Is this just because you assume you're going to be dead soon? So it doesn't matter?
I'll tell you how my children died. You cannot understand the things I've done unless you understand the life that Madeline and I were born into.
Children are never too tender to be whipped, like tough beefsteaks. The more you beat them,
Well, I almost
the
didn't
more
recognize
tender
him
they become.
without a beard.
We were forbidden to go anywhere near Longfellow's house. It was one of our mother's
He's been
most
in
insistent
both Hill
rules.
House and Midnight Mass. Ow.
Climbing my fence. Not here, not ever. We agreed.
Let go of her arm.
Honey?
Are they secretly his kids?
Of course, Mr. Longfellow.
Madeline
He
hated Longfellow even then.
Definitely cheated
She
on his
knew.
wife.
Somehow,
Madeline.
she always knew.
Yep, those kids are his. I'm calling it.
Pain and suffering are like the kiss of Jesus. It just means you've come so close to him that he can kiss you.
That's very interesting.
If pain
Way
and
to
suffering
describe
were
that.
the kisses of Jesus, then he kissed the living fuck out of my mother in the years that followed.
Jesus. What a terminology. It's always so confusing when people wear shoes inside their own house.
Okay, Mom. Okay.
Oi!
We think maybe we need to call a doctor like on the TV.
No!
Mom, please.
Jesus showed us how to heal the sick, and it wasn't through medicine. Where is your faith?
Yeah, I think Jesus would have you go to the doctor.
Maybe you could talk her into it.
I'm sorry, you're here at my home. So I'll talk your mother into seeing a doctor.
Yeah.
She won't listen to us, but you, she
She loves you.
she loves you.
I wrote this show.
It's the least you could do for her, for us.
Dad.
Take your grift and get off my property.
We want a DNA test. She dead? She looks dead. Rip.
What do we do?
Those 12 crosses in your room didn't really help.
Come let the burial rite
Bruh.
be read. The funeral song be sung.
I can't imagine that. Just right in the backyard, eh? That corner looks hella dark. Like, perfectly dark enough for someone to hide in. Yo, I swear to God, if that grave is empty... Excuse me? Oh, there's gonna be a spooky in the corner. Your mother crawled her way out and is in your house. Oh, sweet children, she gonna get you. What if she just was alive? Like, prematurely buried her. That would be a fat rip. Mommy. Oh, she's in the basement. That door's open. She's in the basement.
I mean, she's probably passed out somewhere, right?
Bruh, don't stand near that door. Don't stand near that door.
What did we do?
We're gonna call a doctor. We've gotta call a doctor. I don't care what she
It
says.
was an accident. They gotta know we didn't mean to.
Oh, is she behind him? Oh my God! Oh my Jesus!
Sorry.
Sorry. Please, Mommy.
Go kill Longfellow. He deserves it. Walk your spooky ass all the way over there.
Not just die.
My brother in Christ, you're gonna die. Oh.
What are you doing here?
Death shall come upon you. Oh. Why does she have a cut to her face? Why is her eye like that? Oh, rip. Should not have abandoned your kids like that. That's wild. He was definitely your dad, right? Like,
Why are you telling me this? Oh, why are we talking
we're
about
confident
your mother?
about that, right?
Oh, I assume that I'm supposed to because she's here.
Excuse me? She also...
She's right behind you.
I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God,
I
if
read
she
somewhere
is...
about high-powered negotiation tactics. How some truly brilliant business people will plant these moments into high-stakes conversations, force a reaction, no matter how trivial.
I don't see her back there.
Make them turn around. Just something to assert a little control.
Bruh, if I
I'm not
see
going to
something
turn around, Roderick.
move, I'm gonna cry. Jesus Christ.
So why are you telling me this?
Because, well, we were talking about my kids.
Oh my God.
That day was the last day we were all in the same place. Alive.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's dark.
And it is my privilege to represent the United States of America.
They all died
against
within 2 weeks?
Fortunato Pharmaceuticals.
Christ.
About the opioid epidemic in our homes and streets.
Is he doing a crossword?
The Usher family under CEO Roderick Usher and COO Madeline Usher flagrantly violating regulations, statutes, and the most fundamental ethics.
It's good to see some Midnight Club actors in this.
Destroys, defiles, degrades, and defrauds. And the reason they aren't sweating,
He's got some real passion
the
in his
reason their
argument.
lead attorney and enforcer, Mr. Arthur Pym. Objection. Mr. Arthur Pym.
He's still listening.
He's the one doing the crossword puzzle while I'm talking. Not one consequence has stuck to Roderick Usher or Madeline Usher or anyone else in the family.
Objection. Sustained.
You're going to hear from one of them.
An informant from within the inner circle, someone so close to this family's crimes, their testimony and evidence will be unimpeachable.
Objection! Approach.
Who could it be?
This witness came forward at great personal risk, would be in great danger if exposed. They even fear for their life.
All the more reason not to mention this in your opening argument, Mr. Dupin.
You're right, Your Honor. I got ahead of myself. I'm not the young lawyer I used to be. I'll happily strike.
I wonder if he actually does have... If he has an informant, or if he just said that to get under their skin and tear them apart.
Well, I think we're all frustrated.
Because that would be a pro-gamer move.
Okay, so a mole is like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Departed, and an informant is like Jack Nicholson in The Departed. He was.
Yeah.
Nicholson was talking to the feds the whole time.
No, I get it. It's just there are other movies, Dad.
Just The Departed.
You are getting ridiculously good at that, honey.
Well, I want your dad to love it. And this always just delights him, and he's in such a mood.
Well, yeah.
Is that cake?
There's an informant in the family.
Are you making cake of things?
My money is on one of the bastards.
Well, maybe we've all just underestimated Freddy. When your dad goes down, Freddy's on the throne. Maybe he's just
Midnight Club as well.
Why bother?
And Midnight Mass.
I don't give a shit about the world. I care about what Dad thinks, and he'd write this out, so we write it out.
Goldbug will show him.
This is like
Usher Empire should be a matriarchy.
Spooky Succession.
I canceled the girl.
I didn't know there was a girl tonight.
Well, there was, and she's canceled. Well, pushed today.
Okay.
Just about
Pogo!
got it.
Are they restarting that monkey's heart? Gang, gang.
Our trial's never gonna look legit if we're using an experimental Fortunato paralytic.
We just have to keep it away from Perry.
You sure you want me to come tonight?
Oh, she's gonna make you
Seems
come.
like everybody's gonna have their guns out after court today.
Just kidding. Just kidding. But probably.
You absolutely cannot come.
I'd like to meet your family.
But there's a whole process.
I gotta make sure my
for
sound
that.
is on.
Significant others are a thing.
It is. Hooray.
I'll be right up. I'm in the elevator. We can talk about it in a minute.
Oh,
bruh.
Oh, you're in the elevator.
You just
Okay,
show up
see you in
like
a
that?
sec. You gotta go. Fuck. Okay, you are gonna have to wait out here, okay?
Are you fucking serious?
You have to wait on the balcony.
All right, we're coming out swinging. Front-facing stuff, softballs like Fox. Hannity knows which side his dick's buttered on. He'll be friendly. Tucker?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
I would too.
Juno's gonna be at the Met this weekend.
Both of these guys are in Midnight Club as well.
We're gonna find out who's talking to the feds, and then I'm gonna freeze their fucking head, and I'm gonna give it to my father on a platinum plate. See if Cartier will make a platinum plate.
This is spooky Succession. That's just gonna be stuck in my head now.
They will love you because I love you, and the only thing stronger than love is how fucking scared they are of getting cut out of the will.
Excuse me.
What the heck?
I need to talk to you, Roderick.
Go ahead.
Alone, I think, might be best.
This is
He
Glenn Fiddick,
has received
96.
some harrowing
96, the year
I was born.
27 years old.
It's Prospero Rome, Prospero New York, Prospero Dubai.
Well, outside of naming this establishment after yourself, what else makes it at all worthwhile?
Well, this isn't a fucking
That's a good
Dave &
question.
Buster's, Aunt Madeline. Prospero's gonna be one of the most exclusive nightclubs in the entire world. We're gonna turn movie stars and monarchs away with attitude. We're gonna make Studio 54 look like fucking Romper Room.
How?
I'm selling hedonism, privilege.
Roderick, please, anytime.
No, we won't set up a meeting at the office. Being an usher is about changing the fucking world. It's not a blowjob whiskey bar.
Yeah, I agree. You need to sell snake oil? Get John Ralphio to help. He's got experience with nightclubs. Wonder who's gonna be the first to die.
For the road.
Spooky mommy. Spooky mommy's gonna kill you all.
I thought we could all benefit from this. Pharmaceutical law. Maybe there's something in here that can help us.
No, really.
Is it cake?
Cake.
Amazing. Incredible. I called it.
Fortunato is the reason you exist. It's the reason you can have your little knockoffs, your heart implants. And if anyone comes after us, we will exhaust our arsenal until the threat's neutralized.
Sued into oblivion, taken out of the board, out of the will, on the streets.
No, killed.
Neutralized. Like dead.
Yeah, murder.
$50 million. To whoever solves it. To the lucky usher who figures out who's talking to the feds. 50 million cash, no strings, no taxes. You, the shitbag. You, the informant. You know who you are. It's 50 million. Sleep
That's a lot of money.
There's a woman.
I knew that face.
Spooky mommy.
What did she do to them? You know my favorite holiday? New
Christmas?
Year's Eve. You know why? Resolutions. People take that word for granted. They don't realize just how heavy a word it is.
Resolute. Binding.
It means being unwavering, determined, a firm commitment to do something or not to do something.
Just reminds me of National Treasure. It was resolute. $1979. Just every character. From both Midnight Club, Midnight Mass, both hauntings. Incredible.
We work up the street. Haven't seen this place before. Did you just open?
Sort of.
Thought it'd be more crowded. New Year's and all.
Oh, it'll fill up later.
It's
for
a
midnight business.
spooky business. It's not actually there.
God, I can't believe we really did that.
Keep your voice down, Roderick.
Did you kill someone already?
What do we do now?
We wait here. Drink, but don't get drunk. Talk, but don't talk. If the cops aren't here by midnight, that's a good sign. We won't really know for a few days.
Okay, you guys killed someone.
Want to start a tab? Buy now, pay later. What'd I say?
Don't ever start a tab.
Know what a resolution is, really? It's a deal you make with the future. The future's coming fast.
She is the future.
That was when everything changed at Fortunato. People still whisper about what possibly could have happened that night.
Killed someone.
We're sitting outside of time and space.
Literally, that building's probably not actually there.
The boundaries which divide life from death are, at best, shadowy and vague. Who shall say?
The Reaper.
Our first impulse is to shrink from the danger, unaccountably.
I will never not think of this man as anything but Pike from Star Trek.
Of a fall.
Christ on a cracker.
And this fall.
One of those people looked burned alive. Spooky mommy's gonna be in the car. I'm calling it. She's gonna be in the car. Oh, it's a clown.
Look at me. Awesome.
Wait, he's not gonna die. Is this taking place after?
It's It's time.
Is that taking place after he's talking to the detective? What the frick? Okay, he either survives that, or that scene takes place after he talks to the district attorney or whatever that guy's role is. Yeah, it's crazy. The setup for the show seems fairly straightforward, right? There's this crime family. The two main people in it, Roderick and Madeline, presumably made a deal with the devil, or maybe not the devil himself, but like made a deal with someone. The spooky mommy, who's being played by, what's her name? I forgot her name. Carla Gugino? Carla Gugino. Spooky mommy. They made a deal with her, probably. Whether I don't know if they made a deal like physically, like, hey, let's make a deal, and she's like, I'm gonna collect later, or if they subconsciously did it, or if she just did it without the masking or whatever. But something happened in that bar on the night of New Year's Eve. A bar that may or may not actually exist. Who knows? She definitely said we are outside of time and space, and they asked her if this was a new establishment because they'd never seen it before. It might be a fake bar. Just a conjuring of imagination. Something happened on that night which changed their fortunes completely, shot them into the stratosphere in terms of like influence and power and money, and they have done horrible things to keep their status in this world. And now finally the bill comes due. And she is collecting. She is coming to collect, and they're all gonna die. And 6 of them seemingly already have died. And now I assume the rest of the series is gonna be mostly flashbacks, with like maybe some narration of the interview with the district attorney. And we're gonna see how they all die and all that jazz. And then spooky things are gonna happen. Already some spooky things happened in this show, right? So, I mean, let's start from the flashback to when they were children, and their mom dies because she doesn't trust doctors for whatever reason. I don't know why. She's like, no, Jesus said your body's a temple, and it's like, okay, well, if doctors had existed in the capacity they did back then, Jesus would be like, trust your medical professionals. he would not tell you not to trust doctors. But she dies, and they bury her in the backyard, and then she comes back to life somehow. Who knows if she was actually dead? I think she was dead, and then she just came back to life because she's a demon. I don't know how she got that cut on her face, like someone stabbed her in the eyeball. But she walks her gangly ass across the street and strangles this man, presumably for abandoning her and her children, right? I'm definitely not the only one that was picking up that vibe, right? Like, he definitely cheated on his wife and fathered those 2 children with her, and then didn't claim them, didn't support her in any way. So when she was dead, she came back and killed him. I think that's the vibe I was picking up. That was scary. And then the moment when he's talking to the detective or whatever, and he's like, oh yeah, she's right behind you. And he's like, I'm not turning around. And then you see her move in the background. Oh my God. That's insane. That's freaky. That's freaky. I'm curious what's going on with his sister, Madeline, because he said she's in the basement right now. My initial theory is he survives outside the church. Like, whenever he was bleeding from the nose, he survives that, I think. And then he kills his sister. somehow. And she's literally in the basement, but it's her dead body. That's scary. But yeah, so they're this whole court case of all these things being brought against them, and the district attorney or detective or whatever he is like, we have an informant within the family, and we can't bring them forward because they're scared for their life. I'm willing to hedge a bet that he doesn't actually have an informant. Is very much a lie. It's super, super lying. And he said that purely to tear the family apart. Like, he's just planning on having them go at each other. Maybe, if they tear each other apart enough, one of them actually will become an informant and help out the case. Possibly. Who knows? They're all going to be dead within 2 weeks anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But they set a $50 million bounty on whoever can catch them. I feel like if I was desperate for that money, I would find a way to frame one of those people. Like, I mean, we're all criminals here, right? What's one more crime? But that's the general setup for the season. Is we're gonna watch all these kids die. They are all gonna pay the bill that is due for their father's sins. They will pay for their father and aunt's sins, and probably their own. They probably did some bad things as well, but spooky mommy Carla is gonna come wreck house and just eviscerate them all, and it's gonna be scary. One thing I love about Mike Flanagan is he uses the same actors. every show. I mean, technically I guess it started with his movie. Was it Hush or I forgot the exact title. I think it started with an H. Was it Hush? Starring his wife, where she's like a deaf person who's being like attacked in her home or something like that. Started with her, I guess, technically. But then freaking Haunting of Hill House, Bly Manor, Midnight Mass, and Midnight Club. Actors from all of those shows. I mean, they've reappeared in each of those shows respectively, but I think he brought back like every single one of them except for Victoria Pedretti and the guy who played the brother in Hill House. They have not appeared in the last two shows, so I think they need to, though. They need to make an appearance in this show, or I will be sad. But pretty much every other character from like Midnight Mass and Midnight Club are both in this show, including the girl who she played. Is she supposed to be an older character in this show? Because in Midnight Club, she played a child in hospice care. Like, we're clear about that, right? Also, she has the skinniest legs I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, that's absurd. But either she is supposed to be a much older character, or this man married like a 19-year-old who's like on her deathbed. Like, that's suspect. It's suspect for sure. I'm curious about all the little side roles of each of the characters. They all have these machinations and desires, and they're all cunning and going behind each other's backs. Like, I said it a couple times during the reaction, but the vibe that this show has given me right off the bat is spooky Succession. Like, it's Edgar Allan Poe mixed with Succession, mixed with like just a straight up horror movie, and that's all I'm going to be thinking about now is just spooky Succession. But it was a solid start to the first episode. So far I'm really enjoying it, and I'm very much looking forward to watching the rest of it. And hopefully you guys stick around and actually watch the videos on this, because that would be pretty prime. I would appreciate that quite a bit. But I think that's all I got to say on this first episode. Definitely let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. I would love to hear all your thoughts and opinions. If you enjoyed this reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here or you find yourself coming back often, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon. That is linked in the description down below. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. Or consider joining YouTube memberships. You get that perk there as well. Again, since this is the first episode of a new show or a new season, that uncut will be completely free in public for anyone to check out. And if you find that that's something you're interested in going forward, your support would mean the world. But other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.